Mr. Speaker, thank you for this treasure space to make this statement before you and my colleagues. Mr. Speaker, as captured in the vote and proceedings of Friday, the 31st of January, paragraph 5 and page 7, you had cause to deliver a formal communication. With communication, you outline your displeasure on matters at the appointment committee on the evening of Thursday, the 30th of January, and the morning of Friday, the 31st of January. Mr. Speaker, indeed, your response to the event as a leader and the head of this assembly was indeed timely to assure the public that indeed this House is ready to uphold democracy and to do what is right in the eyes of the public. That notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, I had ferried to your office a memo dated the 3rd of February 2025, where I raised some procedural concerns regarding the outcome of your communication. Mr. Speaker, to couch the matters that arose in proper perspective, on the said day, the Thursday, the 30th of January, as per the practice, we had agreed to proceed to vet some 4 nominees. Originally, we were supposed to do 3. This 4 later changed to 5. Around about 10 p.m. of the evening, we had indications from our colleagues in the majority that they intend to continue the vetting for more nominees rather than agreed. Mr. Speaker, on the corridors of the vetting room were many people, including nominees. Our understanding was that they had all been invited. Mr. Speaker, there was no room for us to discuss the way forward, which resulted in our decision as the minority to protest. Our intention was to have a peaceful protest to express our displeasure at the excesses of our colleagues in the majority. We acknowledge that in the process, the situation got out of hand, resulting in the outcome you commented upon. We hereby assure you that we shall, as the minority, cooperate with you in upholding the integrity and the dignity of this House. Mr. Speaker, we also want to assure you that we will undertake a deeper, and emphasis mine, a deeper consultation and commit to this with our colleagues. Suffice to state that from day one that Mr. President started ferrying his nominees to this House, we have given this government our utmost cooperation. Mr. Speaker, records will have it that this is the first time in the history of our democracy that the minority has given the government such a cooperation to the extent that nominees are getting their confirmation in record time. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, I am on record to have made an application to this House under Order 3. This has never happened by any minority leader in the history of our democracy. We believe in constructive criticism. We are not in any way in to disrupt government business, frustrate them, or undermine them. Both parties have been in government before and have been in opposition before. We know that it is not through disruption that would win us power come 2028. It is through active, constructive politicking. Mr. Speaker, we have become aware of the consequences of orders you have issued as a result of the formal communication you have given. But this is what we have to say. And I quote from Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice. Mr. Speaker, you remember the story of Shylock when he demanded his pound of flesh. A plea came from Portia, who was the supposed counsel for the debtor. Mr. Speaker, this is what he had to say, and I rely on it to mount the next line of my submission. That the quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as a gentle rain from heaven upon the earth beneath. It is twice blessed. It blessed him that gives and him that takes. Mr. Speaker, we cannot take your power to discipline from you. But we believe that when this is tempered with assurance that the way forward will be better, you will be able to reinstate our colleagues who temporarily have been denied access to this chamber and the precincts of Parliament. Ours is not to undermine your authority. After all, it is the confidence we had in you that made us, by consensus, to vote you into office. And we accept your authority. Mr. Speaker, we do not think that we should litigate this matter, even on procedure. We are more interested in the outcome, which is not a desired outcome. Today, I, on behalf of my caucus, would want to assure the public that such an action will not be seen in the public space again. Mr. Speaker, I take full responsibility as a leader on my side on all actions that took place. I will therefore conclude by inviting you, Mr. Speaker, to, in the circumstance and with assurances given, to consider a rescission of the decision you communicated to the House, as well as all consequential matters thereto. Mr. Speaker, without more, I shall thank you for hearing me and resume my seat. Thank you very much.